We're going to speak to two men who've pretty much seen it all as far as covering United is concerned. Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail and the Telegraph journalist Jim White. Evening, gentlemen. Jim White is part of the United podcast, The Good Days Are Coming. Jim, that's an open goal I've got to ask you. Are they?
Yeah, it's an ironic title, clearly. Listen, he's been given a vote of confidence today by Sir Jim Amorim. But you know what votes of confidence are in the football business. And I wonder whether Sir Jim will be making such confident predictions about sticking with the manager if they go on a losing streak again. What Amorim's got to hope is that they play like they did against Arsenal, like they did against Sunderland, and not like they did against Brentford. And if he can get a run of games together, his position will be so much more secure, I would say.
Yeah, that's interesting. Chris, let's pick up on that. Now, you wrote about the fact the club would have to pay a lot of money if they want to sack Amorim before November the 1st. Is the implication things could get pretty dicey after that?
Well, I'd say going off the comments tonight from Sir Jim, probably not. But, I mean, I think after the Brentford game, there was talk from Ineos that he'd be given the whole season, Amorim, and that seemed ambitious. 3 years seems massively ambitious. I'd say let's not forget these are the people that were offering the job to every man and his wife around the FA Cup final last year. Gave Erik ten Hag a stay of execution, gave him a new contract and still sacked him anyway. So I'd say talk is fairly cheap here. I think all of us know that a 3-year wait for a manager is very ambitious.
It is. Jim, you've been in a lot of news conferences, a lot with Amorim, of course. What do you make of his honesty?
Well, it's very, very refreshing for the press. You know, he always gives good press conference. He's got a lot of charm, a lot of charisma, which suggests he's got the character to be able to withstand the kind of issues that you get as Manchester United manager. The only thing he's got going wrong with him at the moment, I think, is not the way he conducts himself. The problem is what's going on the pitch. And the problem is, until he gets that sorted out, I'm not sure he'll ever be secure.
Sure. But Chris, some of the things he says, are they actually damaging the club and damaging the brand?
I think so, yeah. I think when he came out and said they could be the worst team in the club's history, that was very strong. That didn't go down at all well in the comms department, in the commercial department. He's also said, of course, that that he'd walk away without compensation. I'd argue not true. I think the only thing so far that he said that has come true is that the storm is coming, and my, hasn't it come?
Jim, you've written a biography on United. If you were to re-release it, new edition, would the Amorim era be an on-field low? The biggest on-field low?
That's a really difficult thing. You know, the highs are very easy to define. The lows have been coming thick and fast in the last few years. The interesting thing is this term 3 years, that harks back to what Fergie was given. Fergie was given 3 years before he won a trophy. But times are very, very different now. And I think that, the idea that they'll stick with him through thick and thin for 3 years until he sorts it out is a fantasy, to be honest. Is it the lowest point? Well, his win percentage would suggest it probably was.
Chris, would you give him more time?
I think what you have to say is that they're a lot more invested in him than they were in Ten Hag. I think any coach who isn't chosen by the owners is on very, very thin ice when they come in. They brought in Amorim, they've backed him, they've changed the style, they've got rid of players. They, as an organisation, are so heavily invested in him. They want to stick by him. I must admit right now, the results aren't good. The players seem to be still, after almost 1 year, still struggling with his system. And as I say, I mean, to even be in charge for the next 3 months at the moment seems quite ambitious, but 3 years, wildly so.
Indeed. We haven't even got 3 seconds left. Chris Wheeler and Jim White, thank you ever so much, gentlemen, for joining us tonight on Inside Manchester United. Well, we've been asking the fans, should he get more time? And 54% are in favour of giving the head coach more time. Mike Phelan, does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't, because I think the Manchester United supporters in general are very loyal to the managers. They are behind the manager. They do want the success they've had before. They can probably wait a little bit longer than most fans, but they will be concerned. They'll definitely be concerned. I mean, 54%, that's like half, innit? It's half and half in general. So the jury's still out on that side of it, but they will be there for the manager. They will be there for even the club, to the point of we want more, and the demands are there. So yeah, the manager has to provide that. And those sort of stats that you come up with before, and sort of the talk there from the two guys there, it all points to you've got to win games. You've got.
Well, Mike, look at the games. He's got Liverpool away, Brighton at home, Forest away, Spurs away, Everton home, Palace away. Does he survive those really quickly?
Yeah, if you're Manchester United, they should win every one of them games, in my opinion.